Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly scopes from the 3rd to the 9th of March 2024. So let's dive right in. Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's weekly scopes. If you've heard this before, you can skip, but this is just the intro on how I formulate these astrology weekly readings. I use astrology and my intuition to give you advice how you can practically use the knowledge of the stars and the planets and apply them to your life. So my weekly scopes are all based on GMT time and on Vedic constellational astrology. So now I'm just going to explain what Vedic constellation astrology is and how it differs from Western astrology. So the precession of the equinox is sort of like something that happens in astronomy and astrology, where the Earth's axis undergoes a slow circular motion over 26,000 years, and basically this means that this motion causes a shift in the position of the equinoxes and also the calculation Vedic and Western astrologies use. So around 2,000 years ago, the tropical and sidereal Vedic astrology signs of astrology were aligned in the same position. So if the sun was in Scorpio in Vedic astrology, it was also in the constellation of Scorpio in Western astrology. But because of the precession of the equinoxes, this has caused a gradual westward sort of like drift of the tropical Western signs. So basically these signs, the Western signs, shift 1 degree with every 72 years. So as a result of this ongoing shift, when Western astrology says the sun is in the constellation of Pisces, it's typically in the constellation of Aquarius. Still, this is because the degree, orb and the date for Western and Vedic astrology are 24 degrees, 24 days apart. So in Western astrology, the sun enters the constellation of Pisces around the 19th of February each year, but actually the sun doesn't arrive into the constellation of Pisces until the 13th to the 15th of March each year, and Vedic astrology takes this into account because it's based on the fixed star positions, and Vedic astrologers use sidereal calculations. So as a result, Vedic astrology takes into account the actual positions of the constellations in the sky at any given time, and also considers the precession of the equinox, adjusting for the shift in the position of the equinoxes over time. But in terms of Western astrology follows the tropical zodiac, which is based on the seasons rather than fixed star positions. Western astrologers also do not directly account for the precession of the equinox in their calculations as well, so this results in slightly different calculations and interpretations that are given whether we're using Western astrology or Vedic astrology. So yeah, as I said, Western astrology uses specific dates, so every year, regardless of where the sun actually is at the sky, the sun moves into Pisces around the 19th of February. So yeah, this discrepancy, this misalignment between the tropical zodiac and the actual positions of the constellations has led to a discrepancy between Vedic astrology and Western astrology. So I consider the actual where the sun and the moon are and where Mars and Venus are at any given time, and this is how I formulate these sort of like weekly scopes. So yeah, thanks for listening to this, and let's dive into this week's weekly scope. So on the 3rd of March, the moon leaves via combustion, Venus makes a square to Uranus, there's also the moon enters its last quarter moon phase, and the moon's north node also goes retrograde as well. Okay, so on the 3rd of March, the moon leaves via combustion. So via combustion is when the moon is between the 15th degree of Libra and the 15th degree of Scorpio, so it can be a bit more emotional, everything can be intense, we can want to dig deeper into things as well, not wanting to let things go. So now the moon has moved out of our combustion, things may be less emotional. The moon also enters its last quarter moon phase as well, so it allows us to prepare for new beginnings, let go of what no longer serves us. These could be things things that came to our attention when the moon was via combustion as well. And the moon's north node goes retrograde, so it just supports as well our spiritual and personal development, us reaching our career and other goals as well, and going inward as well. It can, in some cases, cause setbacks in us achieving our goals, but we should still go ahead and go through any challenges that come up right now, because we've got the chance to become more stronger and resilient after we go through whatever we go through today. So we can have like a sense of calmness, feeling more like we're open to new paths and experiences and making plans to do so. The best use of the moon leaving via combustion and the last quarter moon phase and the moon's north node going retrograde is to tap into your emotional energy and to build your inner strength. Venus is square to Uranus as well, and encourages us in breaking free from routine and getting out of our comfort zone. We can feel more inspired, creative, and just open-minded to new perspective and people. Negatively, we can unexpected events can come up, and this can cause tension in relationships. People may be more impulsive and say and do the wrong thing, or trigger people without intentionally doing so, while some people may also intentionally wind people up. But so we just need to watch out for the need for independence, and this can conflict with meeting other people's needs and getting in the way of other people's personal space and them getting in the way of yours as well. So we have to try and find balance between freedom and commitment, allowing ourselves to explore the new while still maintaining and meeting the responsibilities of our relationships, careers, and any other things, children and other commitments that we may have as well. But ultimately, today's energies invite us and supports us in releasing attachments to old patterns of behaviour relating to ourselves and others, and just being open to new concepts of love and relationship, and just allowing ourselves to experience the range of emotions and experiences and emotions that come up right now as well. So on the 4th of March, the moon enters void of course, and the moon also enters Sagittarius, and Mercury makes a sextile to Uranus as well. So the moon void of course is a period when some astrologers say it's best for us to put off important things, to focus more on self-care and rejuvenation and repairing any conflicts within ourselves and our relationships, and doing the things maybe that we've been putting off, but maybe avoiding important meetings and stuff as well, because we may not feel like we can handle it right now. But of course we can't always put everything off, because the moon goes void of course at least 2 to 4 times a week. So just be aware and make plans for things to go differently than you thought they were. Give yourself extra time and stuff like that as well. If you want to know more about the do and don'ts of the moon void of course period, check out the playlist. And just to remind you that all of these aspects and everything I mentioned in these weekly and daily scopes are based on Vedic constellational astrology. So where in Western astrology the sun may be in Pisces, in Vedic astrology it will be in Aquarius as well, because it's based on where the sun and the moon and the planets are right now in the sky, because the earth tilts, to cut a long story short. So the planets are kind of just not out of sync, I don't want to say that, but different to the Western system. But let's go on. So the best use of the moon void of course is take time out to journal, meditate, spend time in nature and doing things that are beneficial for your own health and your relationships right now as well. The moon in Sagittarius allows us to take risks, but we can ignore the bigger details and be impulsive as well, and this can cause problems in our relationship and just life right now as well. So try and see the bigger picture. This is always good, but always focus on the small details of how you're going to get to. Don't overdo it and don't be too overconfident, but also allow yourself to be optimistic and seek new adventures at this time as well. Just embrace being more curious, thinking outside of the box. Mercury sextile to Uranus also supports us thinking out of the box, having more freedom freedom in our self-expression and the way we go about completing our work and interacting with others today as well. With the energy of Uranus and Mercury, we can have like a sudden surge of solutions come to our attention through conversations with others or just thoughts within ourselves that can help us solve problems or give us innovative business ideas, creative ideas and things like that. So this energy is really good for all kinds of experimental writing, coding, scientific, technological and all of the work as well. But we can also be unfocused and scattered in our thinking and energies, finding it hard to prioritise tasks and responsibilities today as well. And we can just be anti-authority today as well. So we can sort of like have power struggles in relationships and we can become more reckless. So we just have to try and remain balanced, allow other people to express their thoughts and do the same as well. Great energy to just be open to new spiritual, scientific, intellectual, philosophical and all other concepts as well. Try and have understanding with other people, to seek to think, how can I understand this person rather than how can I make this situation worse. It's a great energy to just open up new pathways in your minds of embracing your own innate spirituality, creativity or just talents and your strengths and your weaknesses, embracing your shadow and just accepting yourself and others while respecting and enforcing each other's boundaries as well. Ultimately, on the 4th of March, it's a good day to think outside of the box. On the 5th of March, Mars makes a set star to the Moon's North Node, so this energy again just supports us in making new connections with others and trying new things as well and taking actions towards our goals, especially if we've failed before. This energy supports us in restarting things as well and having more determination and motivation to overcome the challenges and to keep on going through our barriers and obstacles and as we work through our psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds as well. Ultimately, this set star helps us to push through our mental barriers, actual barriers, and to keep on going and achieving what we need to do today. It gives us assertiveness and patience as well, but we have to watch out for impulsivity and aggression in ourselves and others, and this can lead to taking excessive risks, making hasty, unthought decisions and conflicts and stuff as well. So the best use of this energy is to use it to empower yourself, make progress in your goals, make a strategic plan towards your goals, whether they be professional, personal, relationship or spiritual ones. It's a great energy to start new projects as well as finish old ones you've been putting off. This energy wants us to find the alignment between our actions and soul's evolution, asking us to be courageous, take steps towards fulfilling our destiny, and encouraging us to listen to our inner guidance and trust that we are being supported by the universe, higher power, or whatever you believe in, and just wanting us to be grounded and centered and make more conscious choices that honour our soul's purpose instead of being, swayed and by external influence and people that tell us that we should be like this or that. This transit is supporting you in being more authentic. On the 6th of March, the Moon enters void of course. The Moon also enters Capricorn and Mars makes a set star to Chiron. So if you want to know more about the Moon in Capricorn and the Moon void of course, then check out the playlist. But the best use of the Moon in Capricorn is to do whatever you can to get tangible results you can see. So it's good for hard work and practical action and being more determined, but watch out for burnout and ignoring your commitments, especially your romantic ones. It can make us more colder and this can cause tension in relationships as well as within ourselves if we stop ourselves from expressing feelings that we really want to express at this time. Also today, Mars makes a set star to Chiron, so this supports us in making breakthroughs in our problems, especially conflicts in relationships, and healing our psychological, emotional and spiritual wounds and traumas. It allows us to look at our toxic ways of relating to ourselves and others, thinking and our addictive habits that we are all guilty of, Anything that puts us out of balance is sort of like an addiction. But yeah, even spirituality and listening to astrology and following astrology can be an addiction if it's the only thing we allow ourselves to do. So balance is key within this life. So this energy supports us in having courage to confront our inner struggles and problems, because these are often the root of our toxic behaviours and addictions. So when we deal with our psychological suffering and pain and our emotional numbness and stuff like that as well, and build more self-awareness, love, acceptance and empathy and forgiveness into our life, and we become more empowered. So this energy supports us in facing ourselves and questioning why we have low self-belief and worth, and where do these original runes. Mars represents our motivation, starting things. So looking at the runes that stops you from changing your life. Where did you get the idea that you can never change, you can never have better for yourself? Where did you got the idea that you are not motivated or you're over motivated, and how does your over motivated stop you from having fulfillment in your relationship and fulfillment within yourself? Can also make us more impulsive and aggressive as well. So we have to find a way to channel this fiery energy, and the best use of this is to do inner work, self-reflection, repairing our relationships, making people know that you care, having deep and meaningful conversations, maybe engaging in self-help or therapy or meditation, yoga, tai chi, dancing, running, gaming, anything that helps you soothe and work through your emotions as well. On the spiritual level, this energy reminds us that our pain and suffering, especially our emotional, psychological, can be catalysts, motivators for growth and healing, and how we can, use these as things that help us overcome life adversities, instead of allowing them to make us repeat our past over and over again. And this is not to invoke shame or guilt, we're all guilty of it, but this energy allows us to break out of our traps of toxic relating, addictive behaviours and relationships and stuff like that. It helps us confront our inner demons and face our fears head on, if we're willing to do that, and work through our unresolved, issues. And it can really just help us gain a better understanding of ourselves and our patterns of behaviour. It's a time when we should be honest and with ourselves and allow ourselves to let go of the things that no longer serve us and develop healthier ways of relating to ourselves and others. And it just encourages us to be open in our communication with ourselves and others and being more vulnerable as well, and just helping us heal wounds and conflicts in our relationships as well. And by allowing us to be willing to have those difficult conversations and truly listen to our partners and ourselves, we can develop deeper connections and create stronger foundations for our future goals, our future together with our families, friends, whatever it is you're working out right now as well. So this transit reminds us that relationships are not just about love and companionship, but also about growth and evolution. On the 7th of March, the moon enters its balsamic moon phase, Mercury enters Pisces and Venus also enters Aquarius. So I've done separate audios in depth about Mercury in Pisces and Venus in Aquarius, so if you want to check them out, they're on the playlist, but I will talk about them briefly. So the balsamic moon allows us to go within and supports us in letting go of the things that no longer serve us, starting or continuing that work, but it can also make us emotionally intense and restless as well. And with Mercury going into Pisces, we can get more dreamy and imaginative and intuitive in our communication. So it's great for all sorts of spiritual work, grounded spiritual work. And remember, when we are going into the psychic realms, we have to be discerning, just like we'll take advice from a friend, best friend on earth or family member. Ultimately, as we age, we have to become responsible for the things we do. So just like we've got liars on the earth plane, we've got those in the psychic realms as well. So we have to be discerning when navigating them. So Pisces energy can also make us escape and daydream more, or if we take drugs and alcohol and other intoxicating substances, we can just be ungrounded. So we just have to be doubly careful at this time with this energy of the next 3 to 4 weeks. But it can increase our empathy, openness for healing and, forgiveness, and having spiritual deeper insights and conversations with others. It can make us manipulative as well, and other people can manipulate us, and we can just want to escape as well and just have difficulty in expressing thoughts and understanding things clearly. So watch out for that. When Venus is in Aquarius, we can want more freedom and individuality, and this is happening when of course Mercury is in Pisces. So together these allow us to explore new ways of relating to ourselves and others, but it can make us detached as well, especially in our relationships. So the best use is to just try and think about why, if you do cut yourself off from emotions, why you do that as well, and just being open to trying new things. But just make sure you tell people, hey, I don't want to go on that pre-arranged trip, or I don't want to talk right now, rather than just shutting them out, because this can just cause just damage in your relationship, unnecessary damage as well. So the best use of this energy of the balsamic moon is to use it to let go of negative patterns and past hurts, and set intentions for the coming new moon. So it just allows us to just be more open, but we have to watch out for miscommunications, manipulations, the need to escape and wanting to be used and abused and stuff, and getting into the root causes of why we allow all people to manipulate us, or why we manipulate others. Try and take time out to make sure you understand what someone says right now, and other people understand you as well. And just embrace new ways of relating to others, experimental techniques as well, and allow relationships to evolve naturally, and encourage individuality within your connections right now as well. And so allowing you and others to be who you are, and accepting each other's differences and stuff as well. Overly, when Venus is in Aquarius, we have to make sure, as I said, not to detach too much or sacrifice too much as well for the sake of freedom, because you may decide you want to end the relationship, and then at the end of when Venus goes into Pisces, you feel like, I want my lover back. So just make sure you make well thought out decisions, or maybe put off making decisions if you feel like, which is possible, that if you're not aware enough, or you're unsure. So on the 8th of March, the moon enters void, of course, again. The moon enters Aquarius, and Mercury makes a conjunction to Neptune. So if you want to know more about the moon in Aquarius and the moon void, of course, check out the playlist. But ultimately, the best use of the moon in Aquarius is to explore new ways of thinking and break free from routine. But just, again, watch out for, being detached. In terms of Mercury's conjunction with Neptune, it increases our intuition and psychic abilities. We can be more creatively inspired and be more sort of compassionate in our outlook right now. We can be more empathetic, and this can just help us repair things in relationship as well. Just being more sensitive to other people's needs and our own needs as well. Negatively, this energy can make people reveal secrets, also tell white lies, or just hide the truth and manipulate others, and we can just be more confused as well, and we can find it hard to make logical, rational decisions, as the lines between reality and fantasy can be blurred right now as well. So we have to avoid jumping to conclusions or relying solely on the psychic and intuitive right now without practical analysis as well. And just watch out for, again, escapism, which is always Neptune's negative, but it's a good energy for artistic expression, writers, musicians, and anyone involved in imaginative or creative goals and plans to tap into their creativity and explore new ideas right now. It's great to reach or connect with higher rounds of consciousness as well, and just it promotes emotional healing within ourselves and our relationships as well, as it pushes us to to tune into our inner wisdom, and this can help us advise other people more effectively, and also be more open to taking other people's advice as well. This energy is great for visualization, meditation, and all mystical spiritual practices, but we just have to make sure that we are open and stay grounded as well. And just allow yourself to be more open and chill out more, and not be so hard on yourself and others as you navigate life. On the 9th of March, Mars makes a square to Uranus, and the Sun makes a sextile to Uranus as well. So to bring powerful surge uptake of energy and motivation, it can help us make bolder decisions, take bolder actions, and break free from limitations, especially the limitations of our own mind and other people's, and our own negativity as well. It can lead to us making groundbreaking decisions and innovation, so it's great for all sorts of making progress in work, educational sort of creative goals, and just, allowing yourself to dream and try new things as well. But negatively, it can just make us restless and impulsive. We can make hasty decisions, and we can just have conflicts with others as well because of this, and just do things without thinking about the consequences, and this can just add to the tension in relationships, and also may, for some of us, make us make a mistake that we'll regret later. So we just have to make sure that we'll try and just chill out, go for what we want, but make sure we don't intentionally or unintentionally harm others. And this doesn't mean walking on eggshells, but just trying to respect other people's boundaries, asking questions rather than assuming things, can go a long way right now. So it just allows us to break free from oppressive situations and seek independence in our lives, awaken to our own inner fire and passion and authentic true selves. Some of us can really just have some kind of divine intervention or epiphany today, critically think and just think, I need to get out of my comfort zone, I need to go towards making a better life for myself, and I'm responsible for this and I can do it. You can just want to be more independent as well. So the double surge of Uranus energy today, with the Sun sextile to Uranus and Mars square to Uranus, we may have opposition in expressing ourselves individually, and people may try and get us to conform, or we may stop other people from doing so. But positively, this energy can just push us through our barriers, make us more open-minded and respectful of other people's decisions, and we can help and support each other as we break through and make changes in our life as well, and being open to new techniques to help ourselves be more productive and open to healing our inner trauma. So that's the end of this week's weekly scopes from the 3rd to the 9th of March 2024.